Atlanta fans, welcome to that Atlanta Sports Show. Not this show, not any show, not just any show. That Atlanta Sports Show. I'm your host, Jeremy the Impact York. I want to welcome you guys in. There is tons to get into, but before we do, if you want to leave a question, comment, suggestion, like, rating, review. If you want to subscribe to the show, you can hit the little bell and know when all of our new content drops. Go to our YouTube page, impact_media_. Look for that Atlanta Sports Show or any of your favorite shows that we do. And just become a member. It's free. We love to keep our content free. I hope to keep it that way, but we need more of you guys to subscribe and do the fun things like that. Just how it works. We're going to talk about United and their eventful weekend this past weekend, and then the weekend coming up this week as well. But first, I want to get into the Atlanta Falcons, who are still on top of their division because of tiebreakers and because Tampa did not have a great week as well. But my goodness, Atlanta. I told you that one of two things is going to happen. Either they were going to handle the Saints as we thought they would, or the Saints were going to play slightly inspired football because their coach got sacked and they have a chance to stick it to Atlanta. Two things that usually fire teams up. Kirk Cousins, 23 for 38, 306. 0 touchdowns. It's not a Kirk Cousins-like thing. Normally throws a couple. 1 interception. He was sacked 3 times. They were coverage sacks too, by the way, because they only got 19 total yards out of it. But still, not great. Bijan Robinson, 20 carries, 116 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Great to get him going. Tyler Algier, 11 carries for 59 yards. Didn't have a problem in there. I like the Ray McLeod run as well. Use that kid as best you can. Drake London and Darnell Mooney were the big recipients of the passes, between 97 and 96 yards respectively. And Kyle Pitts caught quite a few too. And they're using Charlie Warner and Bijan Robinson and Ray McLeod III as great supplements. And they're keeping the top 3 where that's absolutely great. Now, I know Mooney is dealing with an Achilles-like injury. Going to really keep an eye on him. But other than that, I thought the offense did good. Definitely could have been better. I mean, you needed 4 more points to win this game. And there was definitely at least 4 points left on the field. You can blame Koo all you want, but this is like people that lose a game at the last minute and they blame that last moment. How many total? Can we get that? Where's the team stats? There we go. Team stats. Let's bring that up. Producer Sunshine getting that for us. All right. Total plays, 73. That was, yeah, that means good or bad because the defense could have easily scored, the special teams could have easily scored just as much as the offense. So 73 total times to just 52 for the Saints. 73 total times that, you know what, you could have done better, and you could have done something else that would have gotten 4 points on the board. So let's not say that you lost the game because your kicker, who is an all-world kicker, who is the top 3 every year in kicking, missed 3 field goals. Yeah, that's not great. But if it comes down to if you're leaving yourself open to chance, this is once again like Dana White telling the fighters, if you don't like a judge deciding if you won or lost a fight, don't let it get there. Don't let it get to people, somebody else deciding the game for you. The offense could have done better and gotten more points on the board. The defense could have gotten better and prevented more points on the board. The special teams could have done better in coverage. Everybody could have done better. Coaching staff could have better prepared them. You, the fans, could have been louder. Let's throw that out there. You could have been louder. You could have showed up more. A lot of you showed up, by the way. I know a lot of people that went, a lot of Falcons fans that went down to New Orleans for this game, and awesome on you to do that. You know, lots of things could have been different, but they weren't. And you lost 20-17, and that is what it is. Um, Let me go back to the defensive breakdown. I thought the defense was playing pretty good. They're getting better. Um, they're starting to get some sacks, which was nice. Didn't have a single one this week, but you came into what was it last week with three, and you got three more that day, so you've doubled your total. But you're playing a team this week that's got quite a few, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I don't know what got in my eye. There we go. We're better. We can see now. Um, it's just weird to call it the Caesars Superdome, by the way. But we're just gonna leave this game where it was. Um, you you should have won it and you didn't. So now you move on. Nothing to do about it. You can't go back and change it. All you can do is play for this week. You're still 2 games up on Tampa Bay in the division. Plus, I think you have every tiebreaker because you're now 4-1. You're 4-1 in your division, and not this week, but next week, I believe you play the Panthers for your 6th game. I think you'll be okay. Um, you're 3 games up on New Orleans, 3 games up on Carolina. That's now becoming a battle to see who's going to be dead last in the South. I thought it was going to be Carolina. It might be the Saints. It could still be Tampa. I don't know. But that moves us to this week. And this week, our Atlanta Falcons, get to it. Where are you? Are going to be in Denver. They're going to 4:05 start. They are going to face the Broncos. Uh, it's a 60-40 split according to ESPN. That a lot of you guys. No, this is the predictor. This is not even the fan vote. Interesting. 64. Okay. Maybe it's because you took that small hit and they're kind of surging. Of course, let's talk about them. Bo Nix, Oregon Bo Nix, Auburn Bo Nix. I think he's from Alabama. I know somebody with a tie to him, and he's actually been doing pretty good fantasy wise. So appreciate that, Mr. Nix. He is 206 for three. He's not a 60% passer for 324, almost 2,000 yards. 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Not great 10-6 ratio there because that's a 5-3 ratio. Not amazing, but he's got a solid cast around him. He's got a good line, good offensive line. He's got some runners. He's got some good receivers and tight ends out there. But I tell you what's gonna help Denver the most is their defense. Their defense is known for being chaotic, for being disruptive, and for not giving up a lot of yardage and not giving up a lot of points. Now, I'm sure you guys are going to come on here and go, oh, well, look at this game. They give up this. They give up this. Just know they're pretty good at limiting you. They're 5-5 for a reason, by the way. They're only 1 game under you in that race. And here's the crazy thing. Here's the real crazy thing is that they have I think they have let me get the actual number right. I believe they have 29 sacks this year. Their defense does. 29. We got that right? No. 35. 35. Wow. Tillman's got a couple. Who's the big dog? Allen and Cooper. who have 11.5 between the two of them. Uh, Sternod, I don't know how to say his name, but he's got, man, they've got 35, and Bonito, the linebacker, has 7. Franklin Myers has 5. They've got some guys that are going to be bringing it. That's for our offensive line, and that's where Coach already said Bijan is going to be very important. He's one of the best chip blockers, and I agree. Pitts is going to have a big role as well. You're going to need to chip block these guys and then pop open because they're going to bring it, and they're going to bring the house because they have a shot at their division. They're not concerned about where you are in your division. That's It doesn't matter where you're first or last in the South to a team like the Denver Broncos. They are looking to take on people like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Chargers, all teams that are having pretty solid years. You can say the Raiders are kind of up and down, but Chargers are right there in it. Mahomes and crew are still undefeated. They're going to be trying to win these games too, guys. Like I always say, turns out those guys on the other side of the field, yeah, these guys here or these guys here, they get paid to win the game too. So they're going to try to win the game. How can you win the game? If Mooney doesn't play, then I need to see more from Pitt. That's obvious. Not from a fantasy perspective, not from anything else. No. Because right now it seems to go London, Mooney, Bijan, Pitt. That seems to be 1, 2, 3, 4, right there, which is not a bad thing. And I think since Bijan's going to be chip blocking a lot, that you're not going to see him as prominent in the passing game because those are going to take a little bit of a time. So if Mooney doesn't play, I need to see more from Pitt. Other than that, keep doing what you're doing. It is not Michael Penix's time. It's still Kirk Cousins' time. How you like that? I like that a lot. And I think the defense, whether Grady plays or not, the defense needs to be a little more explosive. Doesn't have to be a bunch of sacks. You just can't let Bo Nix dictate this game. And you have the defense to be able to stop somebody like Bo Nix. So stop Bo Nix. Fantasy owners will deal with it. Who cares about fantasy owners? When you're a player, they don't. Everybody get that out of your head. That guy on Sunday is not playing so that you can win Barbucks or avoid being a ballerina at church. By the way, you shouldn't be a ballerina at church anyway. It's a whole different story. But I think Falcons going to win. I think Falcons going to go out to Denver 4:05 start, and I think they are very much going to win this game. I look forward to it. Hopefully you guys look forward to it as well. And now let's get to these guys who, as I said, beat Miami 2 out of 3 games in game 2 and game 3. Kick Miami and Messi, the number 1 team, out of the playoffs. And who do they get? They get to go down to Orlando and play their rival. It's going to be fun. This is going to be a fun game. They are going to play on Saturday or Sunday. It does not say. Sunday at 3:30. So if you come out to Deep South Wrestling at New Realm Brewery and you're hanging out watching wrestling, we will probably have somebody's phone up watching this game. Just know, we probably will. Find us. We're not hard to find. This can be a fun game. Such a fun game because, I mean, you've got Torres and McGuire and Enrique on one side. You've got Saba, Teari, and Rios on the other. All of them have stepped up and put goals in the back of the net when needed. You've got the ageless wonder of Brad Guzan. Who is their goalie? Who is their goalie? Can we find it? Head-to-head record, by the way, is pretty even. I think Atlanta in the last 5 games is 3-1-1. That's pretty good numbers. Pretty good numbers. Let's go to who is the Orlando goalie? We know. We're gonna find this somewhere on here. It is. Is it Mercado? Yeah, Tom Mercado. I think it's Gillespie. There's the goalie. I think it's Gillespie. Pedro Gillespie. Uh, dude's pretty good. He's pretty good, and he's gonna want to bring it against us. But easy prediction, not just because I'm wearing this, not just because we have this in the background. Atlanta United is going to beat Orlando, and they're going to beat them 2-1. I like 2-1. It's a good score. 2-1 because we're going to go for goal. It's not going to be Guzman's fault. It's not going to be Brad's fault at all. Goals from Rios. I think Rios gets the first one. I think Orlando. I think we get the first one. Orlando's going to get the second, and we're going to get the third somewhere in the 75th to 80th minute, and it's going to be Moranchuk. Moranchuk. Because yes, there's going to be about a third of this roster that gets turned over in the off season, and we'll deal with that when we get there. Maybe we'll have a guest on to talk about all that. But we're not there yet. We're still playing. We're still in the playoffs. We're still going to win this here. I'm not sure actually who we get. Not real sure. I guess it depends on who wins. But we're going to win. I just told you who's going to score the goal. I'm so excited for this. There's so many things going on Sunday at 3 o'clock. Cannot wait. And I mean, how much fun has this been? Not just because I've been getting predictions right. I'm not never that concerned about those. I just want to tell you all the great things that can happen. And the next greatest thing that's going to happen is Atlanta's going to go to Orlando, and they're going to smack those rivals right in the mouth, and we're going to win. And we're going to go to the final four. The final four is the team. No, when I say nobody, majority of the national media, national crowd, not our fans, not us, majority of the nation, that this team was done. This team was done. They're not going to mount up. It didn't matter who they brought in, all that. Seems like we're getting a good nucleus. Seems like we're playing pretty well. Rob Valentino has been doing a pretty good job as coach, getting some good results here lately and really getting the most out of these players. Maybe they keep them on, maybe they don't. That's another off-season discussion. But for now, Atlanta United is going to beat Orlando or FC Orlando this Sunday. It's going to be so great. But we've reached the end of the show. We've reached the end of the show. Shout out to all you amazing people that make this so much fun to come on here and talk Atlanta United and to talk Atlanta Falcons. And to be here with the Halo board and everything like that is so great. Atlanta has always been my city, and I hope it's your city as well. And this has been another great edition of that Atlanta Sports Show. Not just this sports show, not any sports show, but that Atlanta Sports Show. I'm Jeremy the Impact York. We will see you guys next time. Deuces, gooses. Go Falcons. Go United.